Once upon a time, there was a format called Modern, and it was popular, and it was good. It was respected. It was enjoyable. And whilst it had its bad times, like when Hogak came along and took a massive diarrhea dump over everyone's faces, it was, for the most part, a good time. And then Modern Horizons 2 came along, and we got so much of a format shift up that the format looked unrecognizable today to what it was a few years ago. And in that format, there was a monkey. A 1-mana monkey. This monkey is so good, people have been asking for it to be banned in Modern for a while, and it is banned in Legacy, where the format's mana curves are lower, and being forced to play creature removal is rougher when there's decks trying to just do ludicrous combo thing. Ragavan made it into Multiverses Legends, which is a multiversal Legends, a slot in the March of Machines boosters that gives you legends from across Magic's history, fighting, I say history, not history, but Magic's multiverse, fighting against the Phyrexians in borders that are like showcase frame versions of their local planes. And that means, just like the Brothers War retro artifacts and just like the Strixhaven Mystical Archives, these cards have come to Arena, meaning they become Historic legal and Gladiator 1v1 legal and Historic Brawl legal. Ragavan, though, has been preemptively banned in Historic because it's so fucking good. But if only there was a format where you could guarantee to play one Ragavan on turn 1. You don't need to play 4 of them. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. It's Historic Brawl. Where a format like Gladiator, which is just a 100-card singleton, might have the monkey not be that good because you don't very often have it in opening hand or early game. Brawl says you can have it straight away every single game on turn 1. And some of those games, you're even going first. So I took a Lalia deck and I modified it up to be Ragavan, and over the course of this video, you'll see it shifting and changing as I realize certain cards are good in Lalia and not good in Ragavan. My whole idea with Ragavan is just to win by being incredibly aggressive initially with a Ragavan. I'm playing a ton of cards that allow me to kill creatures that our opponents have played. I'm playing Frostbolts and Fiery Impulses, things that I'd never dream of playing in Historic Brawl if it wasn't for the fact that our commander essentially draws us cards. Ragavan is a 2/1 monkey pirate for 1 red mana, who whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token and exile top card of their library. Until the end of turn, you may cast that card. And he also has dash, so you can cast him from hand or command zone for 2 mana to give him haste and put him back in hand at end of turn. The dash cost is a casting cost, not an ability, so it does get increased by command attack. So our plan is to kill every single blocker our opponent ever plays in the early game and connect with Ragavan 3, 4, maybe 5 times if we can. That won't kill an opponent because 5 hits is only 10, but with the treasures that we get and the cards of our opponent's library, which is essentially drawing a card if we can cast them there and then, we will look to take over the game and win. We have some more top end stuff, Awakened Inferno, Goldspan Dragons, Urabrasks and stuff to really utilize that mana later on. And I'm playing a lot of stuff that allows me to tap my lands for different colors or access different colors. Key to the Archive is not a card that I would normally play in a mono red deck, but giving us access to like a toolbox of spells and tapping for any color of mana is pretty good in this deck. Phonetic Prism just draws us a card and also filters our mana into any color. Cold Steel Heart allows us to pick one of our opponent's colors, which is pretty funny. And then Chromatic Lantern is a pretty strong card in this deck. It's a 3-mana rock, so it's a little bit on the slow side when we're trying to hammer home, but Chromatic Lantern allows all of our lands to tap for any color, so we cast anything our opponents X off to our library with Ragavan. And then beyond that, we're playing things that make Ragavan unblockable, or their creatures unable to block, and then we're also playing things that make more treasures, and are just generally good, aggressive card of Arch Engine. If I were to glance over this deck, I'd say the deck shouldn't be able to work without looking at the commander. Then I see Ragavan, and I'm like, well, he's good, but he's not that good, right? But I think I got like an 80% or upwards win rate with this. I lost against Urza, I lost against Atraxa, and I lost against, before I turned the camera on, I lost against a mono blue deck where I was absolutely wrecking them, and then I Tybalt's trickered them into River's Rebuke, and they just bounced my entire board and I lost on the spot. So that's pretty funny. That's a pretty high variance miss there. If you enjoy the video, let me know in the comment section below what you think and what other commanders from March of the Machine you'd love to see me play and tinker with and extrapolate upon. And if you want to support the channel, check out the link in the description below to coolstuffinc.com to get 5% off your order when using the code Kenobi at checkout. And don't forget, I've got these wonderful playmats on sale as well. Links in the description below. With that out of the way, let's play some monkey magic. It's on! Like Donkey Kong. Although Donkey Kong is an ape and Ragavan is a monkey. That's different, right? Hey, we're the monkeys. We just monkey around. Yeah, this hand does stuff. We got a monkey. Our opponent's on Goro, and Satoru, which is the one that makes dragons when they hit us with stuff. We're gonna play a monkey. If they ain't got a removal spell forward or blocker, we can get him. They do not. We're gonna go to combat and hit them. We exile top card of the library. We make a treasure. We can cast the card. It's a Nimble Obstructionist. 3/1 flyer. Did we cast that? Why not? Let's go for it. We drew a card off them, basically. And we now have a 3/1 flying blue creature. Play an Arcane Signet. So they got access to our mana here. They play a 1/1. Which is a blocker. for our Ragavan. So we remove the blocker with Electrostatic Blast. Next time we cast an instant sorcery spell, we exile top card of our library. So some cardivage. We get into the red zone. For 5, we exile top card of our library, make a treasure spell, extra 2 mana again. We draw Goro, Disciple of Vyusi. Yeah, this gives haste. Yeah, let's just play their stuff. This is great. Why wouldn't we? Seems decent. We don't have a removal spell in hand to kill, like, their blocker. But if we draw a land, we can, like, play Breya. No, she doesn't shoot things. This is not like Breya. This is Breya's Apprentice. This doesn't remove a creature. They play Goro, and Satora, which is a 3/4. I'm gonna play a Breya's Apprentice. And we're going to activate Goro to give everything haste. Go to combat and swing with everything. And Breya's Apprentice can give our Ragavan +2/+0 to kill their commander. Go to damage. Interesting. Hit them to 10. Trigger. Exit top card of the library. Find a treasure. We can't hit not expect to heal. So instead we're just going to play a Kamano Face of Kakazan, which is another like aggro card essentially. We are an aggro deck at the end of the day. That pings them for 1 and we pass back to them. They can now make 5/5 dragons, I guess. And then we've got to kill them around that. They cast Subira Tolzidi Kavanavana and they scoop it up. The monkey got us there by just being really obnoxious from turn 1. It's time to monkey forth once again. We have removal spells, we have a monkey. Are we on the play? Being on the play is huge with monkey as well. Like, it's so good. Our opponent's mulliganing, so they're down cards, which is good for us. Turn 1 monkey. The consistency of a turn 1 monkey is very strong in a 1v1 format, like Historic Brawl. They make a Carney Garden, they make a blocker. That makes me upset. I don't think I bother killing this with a braid here. Instead, I'm going to go, like, go to combat, attack them. They just block with a 0/1, which is a very good play to stop us monkeying them. And then we're going to play this thing that makes power 2 creatures unblockable. And then we'll play a Bag of Holding, which is a holder from when this was a Lalia deck. It still does stuff. It draws cards and discards. You get to play the cards and shit. I probably should replace it, though. Mindstone from our opponent. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, we get to hit them with Ragavan. So we exile top card of the library and make a treasure. We find a Mystic, which I'm just going to play. I love Mana Ramp. It also gives us more green mana for Ragavan hits later down the line as well. And I think I'll play a Magda. And I'm going to play this aggro card. This Kumano Faces Kazakan. Kakazan. Look, I'm English, right? We're ignorant. There's no excuse, but we are. Mirex from our opponent. Now, I assume they aren't going to wrath us because they're in mono green. But this is Magic in the year of our Lord 2023, so who knows. The bad thing about Gwenna for our opponent is that it dies to a Braid. They do have an Arboreal Grazer to block our Ragavan, then we are going to give it unblockable. So we get to put a land onto the battlefield here. A Sunscorched Desert. Target player, not creature. God damn, that would have been scary. Our next creature player gets a counter. We're going to give the Ragavan unblockable. We're going to kill their commander. All-out attack. Make a treasure of Magda. They block the Magda. They should have blocked the Ragavan. Oh, they can't block the Ragavan. Whoops. Make a treasure. And we can't play Vivian this turn because we have to do things before combat, which is sad. Oh, well. You play a Lair of the Hydra and they play a Defiler of Vigor. That's a big creature. We flip our thingamabob. Play a mountain. We're going to give our Ragavan protection from blocking. In with Ragavan. We need to get them before they stabilize. That's our thing, right? Kenneth's Transformation. That's alright, isn't it? I'm gonna turn their Defiler into a elk. And then I'm just going to play this dragon. Okay, so our opponent's got a Lair of the Hydra and a 3/3 to block with. We've got a 4/4 flyer now. The Arboreal Grazer does have reach, by the way. Sage of Ancient Law is a 2/2. When there's about to draw a card and it flips at some circumstance. If no spells are cast, you flip it and its power times equal to the number of cards in hand. And then it has a back end that we could read, but I'm not going to. I'll play a Challenger Torch of Defiance. I think I'm just going to tick down and kill one of their blockers here. Probably this one. I'll give Ragavan unblockable. Go to combat and attack. I'm going to throw the Elvish Mystic in here as well. Probably shouldn't have done that, if I'm honest with you. So they kill Magda with their Sage. I'm fine with this. Take them to 10. Trigger Ragavan. What do we find? Fauna Shaman. It's not even that good, but I'm just going to cast it anyway. This Bag of Holding has done nothing. I'm going to use Fauna Shaman to discard creatures that we draw to find creatures. It also allows us to block like one creature to protect Chandra if we feel that that's relevant or necessary. They play Gwenna. They can also activate their Lair of the Hydra with their Armored Scrap Gorge. They can't anymore because they sacked their Mind Stone. We can activate Fauna Shaman off the treasures or off the Mystic that we stole, which is pretty decent. And they scoop it up. That's right. You can't beat the monkey. The monkey is oppressive. The monkey into Ramos Dragon Engine. From small to big. It me. We've got a suspect card in my hand right now, which is Prophetic Prism, which basically it cantrips itself and allows us to change 1 red mana into a mana of any other colour, so we can actually play the things we get with Ragavan. We also are on the draw here, which is a big downside for Ragavan. They got another tap land, so hopefully this means no blocker, so we get to at least hit them once with Ragavan before we start killing stuff. This makes me very excited. This is a card that I left in from Layla that shouldn't be in the deck and will get changed for something else. I'm going to make a Burma Courier, and we're going to get into the red zone. It'll be 3 damage, and we make a treasure and exile a card. What do we get? We get an Ornithopter of Paradise. That makes any colour of mana. That is a Windmill Slam. Get onto the battlefield right now. If our opponent plays anything with 4 toughness, It brick walls the Ragavan back. Oh, a 2-for-1. Kill the Ragavan and our Robot Courier with Prismaric. I'm going to take action and put it into my command zone. I'm going to do something I haven't done yet, which is dash it. So it costs the extra 2 for the command zone. We hit them. We make a treasure and exile a card from the library, and then we put it back into hand to be cast for 1, you see. We hit a land off of it, which is always the worst. And that goes back to hand, but in hand, it doesn't have the command attacks. So we kind of get like an extra replay of it in a way. We can dash it each turn. Chromatic Lantern from our opponent. They are doing Ramos things where they durdle a lot. Rip apart my Ornithopter shop. Soft speed removal can't hit my Ragavan there. We're going to play a mountain. We're going to dash Ragavan. Hit them for 2. Make a treasure. Have access to 4 mana. Post-combat, play a Knight of Autumn off of their deck. Auto-pay for it. And blow up their Chromatic Lantern to make casting Ramos more difficult. And they are out. They are done. On the draw, with double removal spell, we still Ragavan the shit out of them. I think this might be a problem. So we've gone and tuned the deck up a little bit. I've cut a couple of the crap cards that I mentioned in the last couple of games. Added Snow-Covered Mountains here to play Frostbite. And we've upgraded our Ragavan to be golden, fancy bordered one. Now on the opposite, the commander's a 1-2, so we can actually attack into it relatively well. It's scary when 3 mana opponent creatures are like 2-3s and stuff, and 2-4s. We are on the draw though. We're going to cast the monkey and pass back. My favourite thing to do now is just to name all my cards after monkeys. So I change one word in the title to monkey, like Monkey Bite, or Play with Monkey. We trigger here, we exile Pirate Pillage, which is on theme, but we don't want to play it. Play a tap land, and pass the turn back to our opponent. They've scooped it up. They didn't want to play into monkey anymore, which is weird, honestly. But also, the card is kind of obnoxious. Okay, we are Ragavan into Red-Green Atali. They're going to be ramping, so they might be playing Mana Dorks that can just get in the way of our Ragavan frustratingly. No dork from them, so we're going to slam a monkey and see what happens. We're going to blow up this Castle Break before they get to use it for Atali, probably with this Field of Ruin. Exile a land off them with Bonner's Enclave, and we made a treasure, and we're going to play a Magda to give us more treasures next turn. And we will pass the turn back to our opponent. Besage Who Endures, Circle of Dream Druids, which is a blocker. It's also a decent ramp, so we're going to play this Enclave. We're going to play with fire and kill the Circle of Dream Druids. And no ramp for you, no blockers, do not pass go. We're going to attack, we make a clue, I guess clue, that's not true. Make a treasure off Magda tapping. We hit them, exile a card, and we make a treasure with the Ragavan. We find their Ragavan, which is kind of funny. They're legendary though, so we can't have 2 Ragavans in play at 1. I'll make a Chandra Torch to Defiance here. It costs us 2 treasures, but she makes treasures too. And then we'll take up extra card from our library. We can cast it, but if we don't, we just deal 2 damage to them. Nailed it. They play a red land. Play a Guardian Project, which draws them cards. Go to combat and attack them. There's no point in tapping or using any of our mana before we see what we get off the Ragavan. Take them to 13, trigger, find a Cogler. That actually kills the Guardian Project. That's pretty good. So we make a Cogler. Oh, shit the bed. I tapped my Field of Ruin. I was going to blow up the... It's fine. That makes 6 mana next turn, not 7. Exile a thing, don't cast it, it's a sword, and it'll ping them for 2. Am I going to regret not blowing up the Carrion Brig that turn? I doubt it, right? That is a 5/7. That blocks my Cogler quite well. Oh, they scooped. Okay. Monkey, monkey, monkey! Did I enjoy this game? I was the one playing monkey, so I guess I did. Big Green versus Little Red. Who will win? The most powerful puzzle-esque monster in all of Dungeons and Dragons? Or one fucking monkey? We're going to make a monkey. It's monkey time. They play an Arcane Signet, sure. We play a Beaumont Courier. Should have waited to see if we need to play this tap land, actually. Get into the red zone, put a card underneath Beaumont Courier, hit them, make a treasure, exile a thing. What do we get? Get a Mind Stone. I guess I'll cast a Mind Stone. That's fine. We've got a tap land for next turn anyway. It's card advantage anyway to have it. It's a card we can draw later. And it's just a card that we didn't have to draw ourselves. They're up to 4 mana now, which is kind of scary if they just play a 4 mana threat that we can't kill. But we do have enough mana that we can, or damage that we can probably kill a, yeah, we can kill a 5/4. So we go Frostbite, and then we go Play with Fire, and then we go Slap them in the face. Put a card under Beaumont Courier, hit them down to 19, trigger, exile a card, make a treasure, we exile a land, play a tap land, and then I guess we wait. I will light up the stage here. To the end of our next turn, we've got access to a land and an electrostatic blast. So that plus bolt allows us to kill a 5 toughness creature. So I'd love it if they don't play a 6 toughness creature. Although I guess Cathartic Pyre plus bolt is 6 toughness. Don't play a 7 toughness. Don't play the big fucking gorilla. Season of Growth is slow. Kadam of the West Tree is a 3/3 that allows them to scry. I'm going to play a Valakut Exploration. Play the mountain, which will hit us another mountain off the Valakut Exploration. Well, they're going to Cathartic Pyre the Kadam of the West Tree. We're going to have to discard this Electric Blast, but it allows us to get in again, make a treasure, put card on a Bowmat Courier. Just love life, really. Find a Scoot Swarm. That could have been fun. They take 1 damage for cards going underneath Valakut Exploration. I don't really know why I left that in this deck. Again, another holder from when this is Lelia. They're going to Cultivate here. They got 7 mana. They're 2 mana off casting the Tarask. We know one of the cards in their hand is a Forest. Their sleeves are wicked. I love this sleeve. You're going to return to our Valakut Exploration, which reduces our card advantage a little bit. I think I would have blew up the Bowmat Courier, honestly. We draw an Urabrask, which is super interesting as a magic card here. We're going to get in the red zone, put 4 cards onto Bowmat here, take them to 12, make a treasure, exile a card, find Storm the Festival, which we're 1 mana off casting. I only cast it this turn, so he ain't getting that. Cast an Urabrask, and then just pass the turn to them. We can always crack the Bowmat Courier in response to something here to discard Lightning Bolt and Mind Stone to draw 4 cards, but it looks like we don't have to. We're going to go to combat, hit our opponent for 7. We find off of our opponent, we find a Mana Geode. So we're going to play a land. We're going to crack 1 Mind Stone to see if we draw something useful for our Urabrask. A spell, for example. Land ain't great. Play a Mind Stone. I guess bolt them for 1 damage here off the Urabrask. Make a red in our pool. Use that red mana to crack our Bowmat Courier. Find 5 cards. Any instant sorcery kills them. We didn't draw 1. That's pretty funny. Sacrifice Mind Stone. I want to kill them before they play the Tarask if we can. We find Spikefield Hazard, which we cast. And it pings them for 1. Off itself and simply for 1 because of Urabrask as well. Urabrask is a fun magic card. Fun in a way that isn't as fucking obnoxious as the monkey. I think I'm going to call it there. There's been a couple of games today that I've played where they went on. I had one game against Blue-White Control where they were playing like Urza. And it went on for like 25 minutes and we ended up losing, but we still kept a good game. And there is a game that I lost against Atraxa where we stumbled. We just stumbled and then they got to cast Atraxa and we just can't remove Atraxa. So weirdly, I think we're actually bad into Atraxa if they just play 1-for-1 removal up to the Atraxa and then refill their hand with Atraxa, which is what Atraxa should be doing. So this deck feels bad into Atraxa. Besides that, most things I played into, friendly or non-friendly, just seem to get run over by the sheer like aggressive nature of removing threats and playing their own shit. There were games I'd played before I started recording where I was casting my opponent's Search for Escanters and cool shit like that. It was real fun. Either way, I don't know if it's ban-worthy, but I do think it's a little bit on the good side. Maybe a bit too good. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.